All right, for tonight, the webinar session, the focus for tonight is to provide an overview of the class and kind of dip in a little bit for the week 1 assignments, and our textbook has some information in it that will help us not only for the assignments for week 1. We're going to circle back on some of the concepts when in week 4 you guys are going to make a technology integrated lesson plan. And I'm telling you about week 4 today because everything's going to be connected. All the work you're putting in for weeks 1, 2, and 3, you're going to be able to refer back to what you've been working on and use that in week 4. All right, so first things first, I'm going to give you an overview of the class. Can you guys see the web page, our class web page? Hopefully I'm sharing that. Okay, good, great, thank you. Thank you so much. So I want to talk to you about kind of the layout here of the classroom. Under week 1, when you click on that, for where the assignments are, it kind of lays out for you. It's pretty linear. Dr. Chandler and the folks who made the class, I think they did a really good job, and I'm not just saying that because I work for Dr. Chandler, but I think she did a really good job in laying out the class in a linear format. So it's pretty easy to check and see what's due and what the expectations are. So the readings are laid out for you. These PowerPoints, what I'd recommend you to do is to open them up and reference them as you go through your reading. It kind of focuses you on the main parts. There's always going to be some videos that you can check out. This is an hour-long video, and I kind of find it helpful myself when I go through this video, when I turn it on and kind of fast forward and zoom through on the sections that are of interest. So the week 1 assignment, this is always kind of a question like, where do we turn it in? The week 1 assignment, this is actually a link where you click on this, and this will show you, number 1, very important, is to check your rubric. That's so you know exactly what are the expectations for the assignment, read through it, and then you can browse your computer to attach the document, and then you hit submit. Okay, so that's how you turn in assignments, and we'll get into exactly what the assignment is. Jump over here to the syllabus, because this is provide, number 1, the contact information. Here's my phone number. You can text me, or you can message me through Blackboard. And I'm asking you not to send an email because through other means, because they get lost in spams. And then you're thinking, I'm not emailing you back, but the fact is it didn't make it. So how you email through course messages is you go under course tools, and you scroll down here. And I want to point this out to you where it says course messages. This is what you'd click, not over here where it says send email. So kind of see the difference. Course messages is a yes, send emails no. This could get lost in spams. Course messages will not get lost in spams. Okay, so you're going to use that course messages, and back to the syllabus. Also, kind of draw your attention to kind of usual stuff. The textbook information is on here. Also emailed that to you guys. I put it on announcement if you can use either the ebook or a print version. And the assignments are laid out for you here. Sometimes when you take an online class, it can be overwhelming that you don't understand what is due, when is it due, where do I turn it in. Those seem to be stressful things if they're not clearly outlined for you. So here's the information that's due. The discussion boards, how that works is your discussion board, your initial post needs to be uploaded or needs to be posted by Wednesday night. That's your initial post. And then by Sunday night, you need to have 2 additional posts to classmates. In addition, week 1 only, we have an extra credit opportunity. We have introductions on the discussion board, and if you will type on there a little information about yourself and comment to at least one other student on there, you earn 10 points extra credit. Your assignment is going to be a self-evaluation. You only have one assignment, a regular assignment this week, and it's going to be the self-evaluation, and we'll go over that so you'll know exactly what that's all about. Plus your discussion board, required discussion board, and then your extra credit discussion board, and the collaborate session, which you're taking care of right now. And we'll go over week 2 and 3 and so on later. So I'm going fast. Let me get you blurry here as I'm going down here. Talk to you about late policy. Late assignments are always due by Sunday night, except for the last week of class, which they're due on Saturday. That's a national university policy. Late work generally is not accepted. Okay, and if the only times it's accepted is if you know ahead of time something's coming up, like a medical emergency or something major like that. Communicate it with me, and that's probably why I give you guys my my cell phone. You can call me or text me about that. And when an assignment is going to be late and it has accepted reason for it, I'm just going to let you know there's a 10% deduction per day for late assignments. And the incompletes and withdrawals and all that is listed on here, plus the grading scale. Okay, that was a lot of information I just laid down on you. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute and open up for questions. All right, thanks, Jordan. And anybody else, if you got questions, of course, you can type it in there. Let's see, question. Oh, Brittany asked, sorry to be blunt, but how quickly do you usually return grades, comments after we submitted work? I usually by Monday. The grades are due by Sunday, and I'll get most of them, if not all of them, done on Monday, Tuesday at the latest. So it's a 24-hour turnaround because they're due Sunday nights at midnight. And I get a lot of them done on Monday, and any I don't get done on Monday, I'll finish them up on Tuesday. Okay, cool. Okay, so next point is I have found it helpful for students if they can have examples. What is going to happen? So I'm here under course resources. If you click on that, you click on examples, and the examples are listed here. I'm going to pause there for a minute. Francis is asking if we have any group projects. We do not have group projects. Francis, no on the group project. Good question. Okay, so the week 1, you're going to be doing a self-assessment example. So what I'd like you to do is, if you can, take a look here. So this is a Word document that you're going to fill in the blank. So you're going to download this Word document. It's a template, and you're going to respond yes or no to questions. It's a survey. It's asking you about your technology confidence levels. So read the prompt, answer the response, and give an example. You may come to some that you are thinking, I have no idea even what that's asking me, or I don't have those technology skills, or I don't have an example of it. So it's okay if it's no, but here's the caveat. For every no, you have to make a plan how you're going to get it. So down here, don't forget this part. This is the main part of this assignment. At the bottom, your summary and action plan. So part 1, you're going to say if you have it, here's my example, or nope, don't have it, and here's how I'm going to get it. So this is what you're going to do. You're going to list all the standards you have, and the student example didn't have a lot already. See all those little numbers and letters there? Those are all the standards this individual did not have yet. So they had to write a long little action plan describing all the things, how they're going to get better. Just so you know, if I see a whole bunch of here that you need to get all these standards, and all I see here is I'm going to go to the professional development at my school, no, that won't fly. You got to have put some thought in it. Put some thought and planning on how you're going to get those standards. Okay, this is going to make more sense. I want you to kind of store this information because this is the one assignment due this week. 100-point assignment. This is it. Self-reflection, easy peasy. Not quite as easy peasy, but not bad, is you have to make your little action plan down here. Okay, so that's kind of the gist of where we're starting. And that is a perfect segue into our textbook. So, my first question for you is, what is NETS? What is NETS? What do you think it is? Brittany and Michelle, you guys are spot on. It's your National Education Technology Standards. Totally right. If you have your textbook, you can jump over to page 19, chapter 1, page 19. And here there's a little bit more details about the NETs and kind of why they happened. And there's National Education Technology Standards for students, for teachers, and for school administrators, and they're not exactly the same. And they're very closely aligned, but they're not exactly the same. Also, fun fact, in your textbook, when you get your textbook, in the inside cover, it has them listed. They're actually itemized and listed for easy, quick reference. And as you go through the self-analysis, I think it will be helpful to have those at your disposal to check them really quick. Anyway, so as on page, if you turn over on page 20 on your textbook, a little bit more the issues that are shaping, and this is kind of talking about a little bit about why are we looking at NETs? What are they? Why are we looking at them? What do they matter? I mean, it's a fair question, so what? And it's all coming together with the 21st century skills for students and teachers. How many of you are familiar, or at least have heard of, the 21st century skills for students and teachers? And I'm on page 21, by the way. Okay, so the 21st century skills for students and teachers. This is kind of where it's going deeper and just kind of in a nutshell, trying to move away from simple multiple choice, true-false questions where students can just regurgitate information, where they're really having to, it's more like project-based. And this is where you're going to see terms like technology literacy, knowledge deepening, knowledge creation. And you see Brittany saying her book is a loose leaf version. Is that possibly different? Could be, but the content, I'm sure if you've got your index, it's in chapter 1 talking about 21st century, the pages might not exactly match up, but the content should be there, should be the same. I'm looking on page 22. It says it's a little graphic on figure 1.3. It's kind of in the nutshell. Looks like looks like a spaceship to me with colors on it. I guess like liftoff. Anyway, this is kind of shows about how information, media, and technology skills. So, kind of the gist is as we're working through this, the idea is that technology is not just rote memory. In the early days of education technology, there were computer-assisted programs that was just multiple choice questions, very, very remedial. And now the idea is rather having the students have the computer program very, very flat kind of interaction. It's much more three-dimensional. And it can be even like with our sciences are seeing like dissecting frogs, but virtual frogs, and space exploration, and it's so much more complex than what it used to do. So when we go through the activities here, that's kind of where we're headed. I mean, you have portfolios. Now, in the old days, it was in a binder. Now it's electronic portfolios, and here students can put video blogs in there in addition to pictures and graphics and web pages, and so it's more robust, much more three-dimensional. Okay, so if you have your book, if you can roll over to page 25, this is a technology use rationale based on problem solving. And when you read through this in your book, kind of focus on this on page 25. Maybe a little highlighter on it, make a sticky note in there, because this content is verbatim what's going to happen in week 4 when you make your technology integrated lesson plan. So I'm just mentioning this now because you're going to, at the end, you're going to make a lesson plan that is project-based using technology. And as we go through our lessons, it's going to make more sense. But here, it talks about it. This, using technology, your lesson plan gains the student's attention from the beginning, higher order thinking, higher order learning. Students are going to create something, they're going to develop, they're going to present what they learned. They could present a PowerPoint, they could present a public service announcement, making a video, they could create an Excel sheet, thinking along those lines. So I'm just put that in the back of your mind as you're working through the projects here. Okay, here's a good question. What if you don't have your own class yet? You don't have your own students. How do we do this for this class? Thanks, Michael. Right on point. You would say what you would do. You get to make up the class of your dreams, class size, subject area, subject content. You get to decide what that is, or grade level. Okay, new word for you. Digital divide. What is digital divide? Michael's on the right track. A digital divide is a term that's describing the students who have access to technology. It's fully integrated in the lessons. The teachers have strong net standards, a really robust technology program compared to the students who don't have any technology in their school, don't have it at home. Sean, you're totally right. And is about referred to people who aren't technology literate yet. And so the divide, what the research is saying is that in America we have a digital divide that has profound effects on students who have not been provided a robust technology experience, so that imagine what that would look like. Parallel lives, 2 kindergarten students, one in a school where they're already using technology as kindergartners. Absolutely, that's happening. Some of our schools, it's there. And then neighbor school, across town, they don't have any technology. Going on through the grade span, graduate from high school. And the technology divide, where they're talking about those seniors who have not had a robust experience with technology are behind. They're left behind. They're going to go to college where it's already expected that they have a certain level, or the workforce expected they already have it, and they don't. And so that's just one of the underlying reasons, if you will, is why there's such a push to bring technology integration. Michael brings up a good point, perhaps in low-income schools. And an interesting kind of study being about that is there's so much grant money available for technology integrating. We are seeing a lot more technology, iPad carts, Chromebooks, one-on-one technology coming in to the low-income schools due to grant funding. And Michael, okay, good. Fresno Unified compared to Clovis. Good. So if you can type in your experience, if you haven't yet, what you're seeing in the schools in your area, what kind of technology is or is not available. Yeah, Francis, good point there. Even if the school has it at home, if there's not internet access at home, it's hard for students as well. All right, guys, great feedback. So Sean brings up a good point that even if a school has the technology, okay, even if they have it, the teachers may not know how to use it. There hasn't been sufficient training for that, professional development, and what was it that said that even if they have it in the schools, if they don't have it, Francis said even if you have it at school, students may not have it at home. And it's extremes in family incomes. And one trend we're starting to see, I'm in the school district in South San Diego that is primarily low income. And the district received a grant, and there is one-to-one technology. So the students either have an iPad or in the grades up through 7 and 8 have iPads, and then high school have a laptop. But there was recognizing that there was a problem at home because there wasn't Wi-Fi or internet. So at all of our school sites, they extended the computer lab hours before school, after school, during lunchtime, so students can go in there and use the computer lab, and all the devices that are issued to the students are connected to the school Wi-Fi, and it's a kind of a district kind of password they have. So if they're at any school, they can pick up the Wi-Fi. Not perfect, but it's starting to allow a little bit more access. And we're seeing a trend even in just a short amount of time. It probably even think back even the last 5 years. It just, at least in California, we're seeing more and more technology coming into the hands of students. We're still seeing a big lag time in some of our lowest income areas and in our rural areas. It's also slow to make it out there because maybe they don't have high-speed internet or other financial challenges there. So anyway, kind of a lot of information out, but the digital divide is like a big cornerstone as to the why. Answer the why. Are we spending time looking at national education technology standards, 21st century, all that, because we're thinking of giving our kids the best chance. When they're finished with us, we graduate them, give them the best chance to go for jobs that don't even exist yet, because that's the way that things are changing. So now that we just need well-rounded students that can problem solve, think critically, and be able to adapt and persevere and all those standards, because they're going to be going, our kindergartners are going to be graduating high school for jobs we haven't even thought of yet. They're going to be there. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to move us on to Chapter 2. And Chapter 2 talks about difference between direct instruction and inquiry-based learning versus direct instruction. What is your understanding of those? I'm going to type it in. Great job, everybody. You're right on point there. In your technology integrated lesson plan in week 4, you're going to need to have a little bit of both, a little bit of a directed instruction and a little bit of inquiry-based. Can you think, why would it be important to have a little bit of both? All right, you guys are totally on point. Excellent, excellent. As for a lot of us, it's easy to teach with directed approach. Maybe that's how we learned. I mean, depending on your age and which school that you went. It's possible a lot of your education, I know mine was direct approach only. Very little of the other, of inquiry-based. And now with the focus on inquiry-based, because 21st century skills and the like, it's kind of neat because the technology lends itself perfectly to this. Because with web inquiry we can provide software programs or websites or web quests, discovery programs for students that literally there is no limit to where we just have to funnel them and guide them and direct them where we want them to research. I know for my own students, when I've taken the computer lab, It's a little bit challenging to keep them on focus. Otherwise, before you know it, they're checking out the surf shops or the latest skateboarding websites or something like that, trying to keep them on focus. But it's a good balance between direct instruction and inquiry-based. So I want to just point those main points out to you. The discovery learning, and think about it in the sense as we go on through the course this month, software programs and websites, how can those help your students with the discovery part, the discovery learning? All right, so that's it for my kind of overview of the chapters 1 and 2. Those are the main points. Oh wait, I'm wrong. There's one more thing I want to talk to you about. The technology integrated plan. The page 54, figure 2.9. It's a little. If you don't have your book in front of you, it's a technological pedagogical content knowledge model. I say that 3 times fast. It's a tech pack. It's a little Venn diagram with 3 little blue circles that have maroon and black. But what it basically, this section right here, the tip, this is where it all kind of comes together. The content knowledge, this is the part as the teacher. This is the what you're wanting to teach the students. This is the content. This is the what. The pedagogical knowledge, this is how you're going to teach them. Directed learning, inquiry-based learning, etc. It's the how. Are you going to put them in partners? Are they going to do jigsaw? How is it going to work? And then the technology part. And this is what are you going to use? iPads, smart boards? Are you going to do a software program? Or are you going to have the students create an iMovie? So it's the technology part. And where those 3 come together, content knowledge, pedagogy, technology, where those all 3 come together is the sweet spot. And that's where you see 21st century learning. And that's where you see the project-based learning, all the good stuff, the really good stuff in teaching. It's that sweet spot of really strong teaching. That's where that all comes together. So when you are reviewing the chapters, I also want you to focus on the little, my favorite, I love those little circles. These 3 little blue circles, they're my favorite. It like explains it, at least in my opinion. I'm a visual learner. It really helps kind of bring that together. And review that, and it's not, your time is going to not be going to waste. It's a good, really good use of time for you. It's going to help you put it in context of where we're headed for week 4. And also as we work, as you are going to look up software programs, you're going to select software programs, computer programs, web pages. As we go through, that's kind of where you're headed. And then you can use all those programs that you find for your technology project at the end, your lesson plan project. Okay, that's it for my overview of it. Just to kind of recap, this week due is your discussion board initial response due by Wednesday, and also a friendly reminder that you need to use APA format. And you need to cite the textbook in APA format and at least 1 in-text citation. And does anybody have any questions about that? Okay, thanks, Jordan. I will have an example for you guys on the announcements for that, but APA format on that. So Wednesday night discussion board. By Sunday, you will do your self-reflection on your technology skills and upload that, and then respond to 2 classmates. And for 10 points extra credit, you go on the discussion board and introduce yourself on there for some extra credit points. And that's pretty much it for week 1. And I'm going to stop talking and open up for any questions. Hi there, Michael's asking if he wants to reply to more than 2. Absolutely, Michael, you can reply away, but 10 points is all I have for extra credit. All right, folks, that's all I have for you tonight. If you've got a question, go ahead and type it in there. I'll stay on here a little bit longer and answer the questions. And if you don't have any questions, you are free to go and have a wonderful evening. And email me or text me if you've got questions, and I'll see you next week. Hey there, Sean had a question about the discussion board. Let me click on that. Good question. Okay, so Sean, all you would need to do is check out one of these, not all of them, just click on one of the topics below and just expand upon it on how that would impact you with your own classroom. Don't forget to include quotation, at least one set of quotations from the textbook, and have an APA reference list at the bottom. Hey Sean, good question about where to find APA format. It's over here under course resources and shared documents. Here's the APA style guide. You can also go to the OWL website, the online writing lab. If you Google OWL in APA, you can find it the online writing lab. They give really good examples as well for APA format. Thank you, Brittany. All right, folks, that will do it for this evening. Thank you so much for joining. Feel free to email or text me if you have any questions. Thank you all for joining. Have a great night.